My name is Alex Reid and I'm an account executive at JCS Online Resources. So to get started, I just want to run through the agenda for the day. So to start with, we're going to be exploring the PressReader platform. So going through the catalog page, looking at all of that. Then I'll show you how to search more effectively on PressReader. And we'll also explore the archive of newspapers and magazines found on PressReader. We'll then move on to how to enhance the reading experience. So we'll touch on some of the accessibility tools on PressReader, the translation features and text-to-speech function as well. We'll also have a look at how to personalize for students and staff on their PressReader accounts. Following that, we're going to look at the admin area and some of the analytics tools that you've got on PressReader. So looking at how to get usage statistics, engagement reports, and I'll also show you how to do the self-publishing feature as well on PressReader. And then at the end, I'll show you some of those promotional materials that I mentioned at the start and how you can get access to those, as well as information on contacting JCS if you need any support with your PressReader subscription. So to get started now, I'm going to switch over to the PressReader page. So hopefully, as you can see here, this is the PressReader catalog page that you'll see whenever logging into the PressReader site. So to start with, I'm just going to show you the featured content and some of the other category types, sorry. So you've got your recently read always towards the top. And then scrolling down here, you can see you've got your newspapers and magazines separated into two categories. So if you're ever looking for how to find those, they can be found there. This is a new feature, which is puzzles, which has been added just recently to PressReader. These are updated on a daily basis. So if you've got any members of staff or students who are looking to do puzzles on a daily basis, those are all included within subscriptions as standard. So you'll always have access to those. Something else that I always like to highlight on PressReader and sometimes get asked about is how to filter to particular content types for countries, as well as different content in different languages as well. So to do that, on the catalog page, just scroll down a bit and you'll see these two options here. So if I select all countries, you can find, if you're looking for content that's just published in the UK, you can find that on here or any other country. Or if you want to look for just particular language types, you can find those here as well. So if I, for example, select Afrikaans and filter, you'll see that it's now updated to just show me content for that language type. Of course, everything on PressReader can be translated. So if you're ever looking to translate any of that content, you can just open it up and translate it as well. Something else that I always like to show on PressReader and I think is quite useful is this categories overview just down here. So it's just underneath the puzzle section. This is really good if you've got particularly like department heads that you want to show how to access content for their subjects really easily. So for example, you've got business and current affairs, you've got history and science down here, as well as art, computers and technology. But also if you've got students who are looking to read for pleasure, you might want to send them in the direction of the sports section, music, gaming. So it's a really easy way to just get around the PressReader site as well. So that's something I recommend. If I scroll back up to the top, I'll just show you what accessing an actual paper looks like. So if I open up New Scientist, for example, you'll see that you're taken to this preview page before you actually open the title itself. You've got an image on the left-hand side, which is always updated with the most current title. So you'll always see that image on the left-hand side. You've got some different filter types down here as well, which I'll show you in a second. And on the right-hand side here, this is what you'll see when your subscription is working correctly. This will be your own school logo here on the right-hand side. So as long as you're always seeing that when you're opening content, you know you're accessing it through the school subscription. Coming back to these bits here, you'll see that you've got the ability to look through the issue date for the magazine or newspaper. So for example, if you wanted to look back through the archive of PressReader, you can do so here. How far back you go will depend on what subscription you've got. So if you've got PressReader with archive, you've of course got an archive going back as far as 18 years. Or if you've just got the standard PressReader subscription, you've got that 1 year archive that you can go back. It does also differ depending on the actual title you're accessing. Some titles have a longer archive than others as well. Going down here, you see you've got a Add to My Publications button. So if I click that button here and add it to my publications, whenever I go back to my homepage, you'll see that it actually appears at the top of the homepage when accessing it. So if your colleagues or students have content that they know they're going to be accessing regularly, they might want to add it to my publications just to make it easier to find it in the future. Just underneath that, you'll see you've got a listen button as well. This is really useful if you've got students or teachers who like to listen to their content instead of reading it. or if they want to listen to it whilst reading along as well. There is also a feature to it that is really useful for modern foreign languages. So I'll show you a bit how to do that later, but yeah, just play that here.
Press Sims.
So you'll see it'll read out the whole title to you that way as well. Just underneath that, you've of course got your Read Now button. So if I click that, you'll see it takes me into what's called page view. This is basically if you want to read it as a sort of scan of a newspaper or magazine, you can do so with the page view. Personally, I prefer text view. So if I actually click onto one of the headlines, you'll see it opens it up in text view for me here. And with text view, you've got a few additional features that are available to you. So if I click these three dots in the top right-hand corner here, you'll see it opens up a few of the features for me here. So you've got your issue date where you can change the issue as we've discussed and my publication. But underneath that, you've got the translate button just here. And if I click on that, you can see the full list of different languages that I can translate this into. And if I, for example, select French, you'll see that it just pretty much instantly translates that into another language for me. I was discussing the feature that's great for modern foreign languages. We hear from a lot of schools that they like to translate it into a different language. And then we'll use the listen feature for students so that they can listen to the pronunciation whilst reading along with the actual newspaper as well. So that can sometimes be quite a useful feature for your modern foreign language departments. You can always get back to the original language just by clicking this button at the top. And again, just as quick, instantly, it'll put it back into text view. Some of the other features you've got as well is download to device. So if you're using the app or even the web version and you want to download that newspaper or magazine, you can click this and read it offline anytime you want. You've got completely unlimited downloads with your subscription, so there's no kind of limits with that. Just underneath that as well, you've got the ability to export to an e-reader. So if I click that, I'll show you the different types of e-reader that you can export into. And just underneath that, you've got the ability to change the font size. So, for example, you can increase the font size by clicking those buttons, and you can also change the font type as well. You'll see that sometimes it makes the formatting look a bit strange, but as soon as I close this, it will reformat it into a more readable view for you. So that's everything on the actual newspaper page or magazine page. I'm going to go back to the catalogue now and just tell you a bit more about how to search effectively on PressReader. So you'll see to start a search, I'll click the magnifying glass in the top right-hand corner, and I'll do a normal search, for example, like artificial intelligence. And I'll click search. Once I've clicked that, you'll see it returns a large number of results, so 550,000 on this result. And you can see all of the different newspaper articles that it's found or magazine articles it's found around that subject. If I want to narrow that down a bit further, I'll open up the advanced search here, and you'll see that I've got a few more filter options. So for example, I might just want to look at English language titles. So I'll select English there. I might also just want to look at a category, for example, business and current affairs. So I'll do that. I'll tick that there to select all 623 titles. And I might also just want to look at content from this last week. So I'll click this week here. Once I've entered all of those, I will then click search. And you'll see that that's reduced that down to a more manageable 239 different articles that I can read through. If I've then found an article that I want to read a bit further, I can click this here, which will bring it up into a preview. Or alternatively, I can click onto the actual three dots, which are just here, and I can take it into page view. That will then actually open up that title and take me into the page view where I can then begin to either change the font size or, for example, listen to that article or translate it as we've discussed previously as well. So that's a really good way of searching through PressReader, and there's a bit more in-depth and accurate searching that you can do on PressReader as well. So that's everything on the PressReader page itself. I'm going to switch over now to PressReader Analytics and show you a bit about that as well. So this is the PressReader Analytics homepage. If you've ever got any issues getting into the PressReader Analytics side, or you're not sure what your username and password is for analytics, do get in touch with us at support@jcsonlineresources.org, and we'll be able to help you out with getting into this. But once you've logged in, this is the homepage that you'll be greeted with. So you'll see here in the middle of the page, you've got your traffic insights. So this will give you some basic information like the number of article opens you've had, how many unique users you have, the number of sessions that those users have had, how many issue opens there's been, and the average session length as well. You can see down here that you can quickly filter those onto a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. You've also got the ability to up here change the filter as well. So if you want to look back through the last 12 months, or an even shorter amount, even down to the daily usage on that subscription as well. If you ever want to share any of this information with senior leaders or budget holders, you can export any of this to a CSV file, or you can export it as an image as well. So if you really want to quickly just share that information with someone, you can do so by using that feature. Over here on the right-hand side, you'll see that you've also got some more in-depth information. So, for example, you can look at views on platform and see the number of users who are using the app versus the web. You can also see which devices users are using, like desktop, tablets, phones, all the way down to what countries and what regions of the countries people are looking at content for. So you can really get some good in-depth information with this. Something else that you've got access to on PressReader Analytics is what's called audience interests, just down here. If you open those up, it'll take you into what's called a tree map. So you can see what articles people are reading within your subscription, which is really great if you're trying to get in-depth information on what particularly students and teachers are finding most interested on PressReader. This is really granular information as well. So if I go, for example, into the business section on here, you'll see it opens it up, and within business, it's showing me what articles people are looking at within that. I can then go into finance, for example, and that'll tell me within finance what people are looking at, all the way through to banking and what type of banking people are reading. So you can really get some good in-depth information on what students and teachers are looking at, and that might help inform what you promote within PressReader as well. The last thing I wanted to show you as well is the self-publishing feature. Now, normally you would find this within the content section over here alongside a downloadable title list. Unfortunately, on our version, we don't have that. So I'm just going to show you on a PowerPoint instead how this would work. So essentially what self-publishing is the ability to upload your own content onto PressReader's site. This will be completely unique to your school, so it won't be visible to anyone outside of your institution, just within the institution itself. As you're probably hopefully aware, within PressReader, you've got licensed access for students, teachers, and parents. So if you've got content you want to upload onto PressReader that you're keen for parents to see, for example, newsletters or school newspapers that you produce, you might want to add those onto your PressReader account, which is a nice, easy way to promote that. So to do that, you'll go onto the analytics page, as I've shown you before, and go to this section called Upload Custom Content. Once you've done that, you just simply click the Upload Custom Content, which will bring up this box here. You drag and drop the PDF that you want to upload, give it a title, and select that you certify that you've got the right to upload that content onto PressReader. Once you've done that, you click Upload and Publish, and it will then be on your PressReader account. In terms of where you would then find this once you go on to PressReader, I'll show you one that we've added previously to our own PressReader account. It's just underneath the catalog section, just down here, and it will be called Featured By and then your school name. So again, it's a really easy way to upload content and just make it easier for students, teachers, and parents to access that content as well. So that's everything that I wanted to talk to you about today on PressReader. If you do have any questions or queries, do pop them in the Q&A chat just down below, and I'll be happy to go through those and answer some of those questions. I did just lastly also want to show you some of the support materials available on PressReader. So we've got some logos and great promotional materials if you're looking to promote that out to members of staff within the school. We've also got some blogs and media toolkits as well that you can use to help promote the resource, as well as information on how to set up topic alerts, how to download your favorite titles, and monitoring usage as well with the analytics tools. We also have a really good hints and tips, 6 ways to promote your digital library and making the most of your digital resources, which is also well worth a read as well. So this will all be included in the slides that we send over to you. So please do have a look through those and make use of those as well. So I'm just going to switch over to the Q&A now and read some of these. Is Dyslexic font available? It is. I'll show you how to access that Dyslexic font. Let me just switch back over to PressReader. So to access that, what you'll basically do is go into accessibility mode. So again, you'll click these 3 dots in the top right-hand corner, go into accessibility mode. And then once you're in this mode, you'll open up any of the titles that you want to read. So let me open up one of these. And you'll then, as you would do with changing the font size normally, click the three dots in the top right-hand corner, and you'll select Dyslexic just down here, and you'll see that it will put it into that dyslexic font for you. Let's have a look if there's any other questions as well. How can I get a hold of the title listing? So to do that, you'll go into your analytics section, and just down here in catalog, you'll click that button. It will take you to a page, and then there'll just be a downloadable link for the Excel list of all your different titles. How can I curate my own title list? Unfortunately, you can't curate your own title list on PressReader. It is already a curated list of content, so there'll only be titles on there that should be appropriate for students and teachers. If you are spotting things on your PressReader account that aren't suitable and you don't think they should be on there, do get in touch with us. It might either be an issue with the way you're logged in, or there could be some content on there that we can let PressReader know about and get it removed for you. How can I add the archive? If you want to add the archive and you don't currently have it, if you get in touch with us at support@jcsonlineresources.org, they'll put you in touch with a relevant account executive who can give you the information on how to upgrade your subscription. Can I create accounts using the app? You can't create an account using the app. What you'll need to do is go onto the web version, create your account first through that, and then switch over to the app as well. We do have a few different access methods available for PressReader. So if you don't currently have something like single sign-on and you use Microsoft or Google at your school, we can help you with getting that set up, and then students can log in with their existing Microsoft details. So that's also an option that you could look at as well. Any other questions at all? I think that's everything. I heard parents can get in. Yes, that's correct. Yeah, so parents are included in the license for your subscription, so they're able to access PressReader as well. They'll need to log in on the student's account, as they won't have their own school email domain, but that account will be allowed to be on up to 5 different devices, so they'll be able to log in that way. I think that's all the questions. If you haven't had a chance to get your question in, and you do think of a question later, do get in touch with us at support@JCS Online Resources. I'll also include my email here, which will also be on the slide. So if you do have any questions and want to direct some of those to me, do let me know and I'll be more than happy to help. But hopefully that's been useful for you all. And I hope it's been a useful experience for us also. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to hearing from you and supporting you with your subscription.